You know that person on your feed, the one with the picture-perfect life, the exotic vacations, and the brand-new luxury car? Their story is always a little too perfect. The watch is always angled just right. The champagne flute never seems to empty. You scroll through their life, a curated gallery of success, and maybe you feel a pang of something: envy, admiration, or maybe even a little bit of inadequacy. What if I told you the car is a lease they can't truly afford? Those vacation photos are from 3 years ago and strategically reposted, and they are one missed payment away from it all falling apart. What if I told you the person who looks the richest is often the one under the most financial pressure? The truth is, in our hyper-visible, comparison-driven world, a new and dangerous phenomenon has taken over: the performance of wealth. It's not about being rich, it's about looking rich. And it has created an entire class of people who act wealthy but are, in reality, completely and utterly broke. Today, we're pulling back the curtain. We're going to expose the tricks, the mindset, and the financial traps that keep people looking like $1,000,000 while their bank account is screaming for help. We'll explore the difference between visible and invisible wealth, and I promise you, by the end of this, you will never look at a luxury logo the same way again. We're not just going to diagnose the problem, we're going to give you the blueprint to avoid these traps and build genuine, quiet wealth that provides freedom, not just a photo op. This is the story of how they do it, why it's a trap you can't afford to fall into, and how you can choose a different path. Let's get one thing straight: there is a Grand Canyon-sized difference between being rich and being wealthy. Being rich is about income. It's flashy, it's loud, it's visible. It's the person who makes a good salary and immediately spends it on things that signal, "I've made it." Wealth, on the other hand, is what you keep, not what you spend. It's your net worth, it's the assets you own that work for you: investments, businesses, real estate that generate income. Wealth is quiet, it's security, it's freedom. The core of the fake rich phenomenon is a confusion between these two concepts. Society, and especially social media, has trained us to equate the appearance of wealth with actual financial success. We see the result of luxury goods without seeing the balance sheet. And this has created what I call the great financial performance. People are no longer just living their lives, they are curating a brand. Their car, their clothes, their travel destinations are props in a play titled "I Am Successful." The problem is, this performance has a very real and very high ticket price. Every dollar spent on performing wealth is a dollar that cannot be used for building wealth. That $1,200 lease payment for a car you can't afford is $1,200 that isn't being invested in a low-cost index fund. That $3,000 credit card bill for a closet full of logos is $3,000 that isn't going into an emergency fund. The performance of wealth is the direct enemy of the accumulation of wealth. To understand how deep this goes, we need to break down the performers. They aren't all the same. They fall into distinct archetypes, each with their own set of behaviors and their own specific financial poison. So let's meet the cast of characters in this grand, expensive tragedy. You know least luxury Larry. You hear him before you see him, that distinct, aggressive engine revving in the apartment complex parking lot. He drives a base-model German luxury sedan, a BMW, a Mercedes, and Audi. The car is always impeccably clean, on the outside at least. His entire personality revolves around this car. He doesn't just drive. He pilots an engineering marvel. He talks about horsepower, torque, and the driving experience. He'll post a picture of his steering wheel, logo perfectly centered, on his Instagram story with a caption like "My happy place." On the surface, Larry looks like he's winning. That car is a powerful symbol of success, but let's look at the math he desperately hopes you won't. That car isn't his. He's renting it from the bank. Leasing luxury cars is incredibly popular because it offers a lower monthly payment than financing, making a car that might be $60,000 to buy seem affordable at $800 or $900 a month. While overall lease penetration for new cars hovers around 20–25%, for luxury brands, that number has historically been much higher, at times exceeding 50%. Here's the trap. Larry is paying a premium for the fastest depreciating period of the car's life. He's pouring thousands of dollars a year into a liability he will never own. That monthly payment is a huge drain on his actual income. He's what the industry calls house poor, but for a car, he's car poor. He has no money left for maintenance, which, on a German luxury car out of warranty, is notoriously expensive. An unexpected $1,000 repair bill would send him into a full-blown panic. He has no emergency fund. His savings account is barren. All his financial energy is directed at maintaining this one single, highly visible symbol of success. The irony is brutal. The very thing he uses to signal wealth is the primary reason he will never build any. The truly wealthy person might be driving a 5-year-old Toyota, paid in full, while quietly stacking hundreds of thousands in investments. Larry looks richer at the stoplight, but the person in the Toyota is actually winning the game. Least luxury, Larry is trapped in a cycle of paying for status instead of investing in security. Next up, meet designer Debbie. Her Instagram feed is a masterclass in aspirational aesthetics. Flat lays of Gucci belts, unboxing videos of Louis Vuitton bags, mirror selfies where the brand name on her sweater is more prominent than her face. She doesn't just wear clothes, she wears brands. She speaks the language of seasonal collections, limited edition drops, and bags. To the outside world, she is the epitome of high fashion and disposable income. But behind the scenes, her financial life is a house of cards. That closet full of luxury isn't funded by a high-paying job, it's financed by an army of credit cards and, more insidiously, the silent poison of buy now, pay later (BNPL) services. BNPL has revolutionized the way people go into debt. It makes a $1,200 handbag seem manageable by breaking it down into 4 interest-free payments of $300. The psychology is brilliant and deadly. It lowers the barrier to purchase and encourages impulse spending. Some studies have shown that the majority of Millennial and Gen Z shoppers are more likely to buy things, including luxury items, if they can pay over time. Debbie is juggling multiple BNPL payment plans, one for the shoes, one for the dress, one for the sunglasses. It feels like small amounts, but they add up to a significant monthly burden. And what happens if she misses a payment? Late fees and potential hits to her credit score. While BNPL services started in a regulatory gray area, that's changing fast. Regulators in the UK, EU, and Australia are bringing them under stricter financial oversight, and many providers are now starting to report payment histories to credit bureaus. This means a missed payment is more likely than ever to damage your credit score. She embodies the dangerous mindset that your self-worth is tied to the logos you can display. It's a constant performance that requires ever more spending to maintain. The validation from a "love your outfit" comment provides a temporary high, but the financial hangover is permanent. She is, quite literally, sacrificing her financial future for a fleeting sense of status. She's not a customer of these luxury brands, she's an unpaid marketing intern, trading her future wealth for the privilege of being a walking billboard. Now let's turn to the world of finance and meet Instagram investor Ivan. His social media bio is a cryptic mix of rocket emojis, stock chart emojis, and phrases like "CEO of my own life." He doesn't post pictures of cars or clothes. He posts screenshots of his brokerage account, but only on the green days. He shares hot stock tips in his stories and talks condescendingly about the market. He uses terms like alpha, moonshot, and diamond hands. He wants you to think he's the Wolf of Wall Street, a financial guru who has unlocked the secrets to quick riches. The reality, Ivan is not an investor, he's a gambler. He's throwing money at highly speculative, volatile assets like meme stocks and obscure cryptocurrencies, hoping for a lottery ticket payout. He has no strategy, no understanding of diversification, and zero appreciation for risk management. He heard about a stock on Reddit, saw a coin being pumped on social media, and jumped in with money he probably couldn't afford to lose. He never talks about his losses, and trust me, there are plenty. For every screenshot of a 150% gain, there are a dozen other positions bleeding out in his portfolio. He doesn't understand the difference between investing and speculating. Investing is the long-term, disciplined process of buying assets with intrinsic value and letting compound growth work its magic over decades. Speculating is just betting on short-term price movements. A truly wealthy person's investment strategy is often quite boring. It involves consistently buying and holding broad market index funds, maxing out retirement accounts, and largely ignoring the daily noise of the market. It's a slow and steady path. Ivan craves the fast and the flashy. He wants the story of turning $1,000 into $100,000 overnight. He's addicted to the dopamine hit of the gamble, not the quiet satisfaction of building a secure future. He talks about financial freedom, but his actions are chaining him to financial anxiety. He's not building wealth, he's just playing in a high-stakes casino with his financial future as the chips. Our final archetype is the globetrotter travel hack Tiffany. Her profile is a dizzying montage of infinity pools, overwater bungalows, and picturesque European streets. She seems to be on a permanent vacation. She's an expert on living your best life and will happily give you unsolicited advice about how you absolutely must visit Bali. She projects an image of ultimate freedom, unconstrained by a desk job or a budget. But how does she afford this? She'll tell you it's all about travel hacking, mastering credit card points and airline miles. On the surface, this sounds smart. Using rewards to travel for free is a savvy financial move. But for Tiffany, it's a justification for a lifestyle built on a foundation of debt and financial gymnastics. To earn the massive number of points needed for these trips, she has to spend an enormous amount of money. While there's a wide range of travel cards, many of the most lucrative ones come with high annual fees and require spending thousands of dollars in the first few months just to get the sign-up bonus. This encourages overspending. Tiffany finds herself buying things she doesn't need just to hit the minimum spend. Worse, she often carries a balance. She pays for a $5,000 trip with points, but if she's carrying a $10,000 balance on that same card at 22% APR, the interest she's paying completely obliterates the value of the free trip. The bank is the real winner here. Her social media doesn't show the full story. It shows the 5-star hotel she stayed in for one night using a points certificate before moving to a cheap hostel. It shows the fancy dinner, but not the instant noodles she ate for the next 3 days. The performance of a luxurious, carefree travel life is exhausting and expensive. She is spending real money and real mental energy to maintain the illusion of a free life, all while potentially digging herself into a deep hole of high-interest debt. She's not hacking travel. The travel is hacking her finances. So we've met Larry, Debbie, Ivan, and Tiffany. They all have different methods, but they share the same goal: to project an image of success that doesn't align with their financial reality. The question is, why? Why go through all this stress, this debt, this elaborate performance? The answer lies deep in our modern psychology. At its core, this behavior is often driven by a profound sense of insecurity and a fear of being seen as average. In a world where social media acts as a highlight reel of everyone else's lives, it's easy to feel like you're falling behind. People post their wins, the promotion, the new car, the vacation, and we rarely see the struggles, the debt, or the anxiety. This creates a distorted perception of reality where it feels like everyone else is living an extraordinary life. This pressure to keep up with the Joneses has been supercharged by social media. Now it's keeping up with the entire world. The desire to belong and be admired is a fundamental human need. For many, displaying symbols of wealth feels like the most direct way to achieve that admiration. A luxury logo isn't just a product, it's a perceived shortcut to respect. There's also a powerful neurological component. Every time you post a picture of your new toy and the likes and positive comments roll in, your brain gets a hit of dopamine. It's the same chemical reward system that gets triggered by food, drugs, and gambling. You become addicted to the validation. This external validation becomes a substitute for internal self-worth. As one expert put it, if you feel the need to perform wealth, the hole isn't in your closet, it's in your self-concept. This isn't to say that everyone who does this is a bad person. Many are simply responding to the immense societal pressure that tells us what we own defines who we are. They are victims of a culture that prioritizes visible consumption over invisible security. But understanding psychology is only the first step. The next and most crucial step is to consciously choose a different kind of life. A life of genuine wealth. So how do we break free from the great financial performance? How do we stop playing a game that's rigged against us and start building a life of true financial freedom? It all begins with a fundamental mindset shift. You have to redefine what rich means to you. Forget the logos and the leases. True wealth isn't about impressing others, it's about giving yourself options. It's the freedom to quit a job you hate. It's the security of knowing you can handle an emergency without going into debt. It's the peace of mind that comes from being in control. This is quiet wealth, and unlike the loud performance of fake wealth, it's built on discipline, patience, and a few simple, unbreakable rules. First, you have to track your money. You can't manage what you don't measure. For 1 month, track every single dollar that comes in and goes out. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or a notebook. This isn't about judgment, it's about gathering data. You will be shocked to see where your money is actually going. This knowledge is your starting point. Second, build a real emergency fund. This is the most important and least sexy step to financial security. A great goal is to save 3 to 6 months' worth of essential living expenses in a high-yield savings account. For some, like those with dependents or unstable income, saving more like 6 to 12 months might be an even better target. This is your fortress. When your car breaks down or you lose your job, you won't have to panic or go into debt. You'll just use your fund. It's the ultimate anti-fake rich move because it's an invisible asset that provides real-world security. Third, you must destroy high-interest debt. Debt from credit cards and BNPL plans is a cancer on your financial health. That interest is money you are lighting on fire. Make a list of all your debts from highest interest rate to lowest. Then, attack the one with the highest rate with every spare dollar you have while making minimum payments on the others. Once that first debt is gone, take all the money you were throwing at it and point it at the next one. This process will build momentum and free up your most powerful wealth-building tool, your income. Fourth, live below your means and avoid lifestyle inflation. This is the secret of most truly wealthy people. Just because you get a raise doesn't mean you have to increase your spending. Instead, plan to save and invest at least half of every raise you get. If your income goes up by $500 a month, that's $500 more you can put toward your future self. Resisting the urge to immediately upgrade your car or apartment when you earn more is a superpower. Fifth and finally, you must invest for the long term. This is how you build true, lasting wealth. Forget what Instagram investor Ivan is doing. You don't need to pick the next hot stock. You need to consistently and automatically invest in low-cost, diversified index funds or ETFs that track the entire market. By doing this, you own a tiny piece of hundreds of the world's best companies. You are betting on the long-term growth of the global economy. Let compound growth do the heavy lifting for you. As Warren Buffett said, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. Investing is how you make your money work for you. We've journeyed through the deceptive, high-gloss world of the fake rich. We've seen how leased luxury Larry, designer debt Debbie, Instagram investor Ivan, and travel hack Tiffany are all running on a treadmill of financial anxiety, chasing a fleeting image of success. Their lives may look shiny on the surface, but underneath they are fragile, stressful, and unsustainable. The biggest lie we've been sold is that wealth is something you wear, drive, or post. It's not. True wealth is invisible. It's the paid-off mortgage. It's the fully funded retirement account. It's the emergency fund that lets you sleep at night. It's the freedom to make choices based on your values, not your financial constraints. It's the power to say no to a life of performance and yes to a life of substance. The choice ultimately is yours. You can spend your life trying to impress people who are too busy trying to impress other people, or you can start today to build a foundation of quiet, unshakable wealth. You can choose the temporary thrill of a new logo or the lasting security of a growing net worth. One path leads to a life of constant pressure. The other leads to a life of freedom. My challenge to you is this: take one step, just one. Calculate your net worth. Open that high-yield savings account. Read a book about index fund investing. Make the choice to stop performing and start building. The journey to true wealth is not a sprint, it's a marathon. It's not about being flashy, it's about being consistent. And it's the most rewarding journey you will ever take. What do you think is the most common fake rich behavior you see? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's have a real conversation about this. And if this video gave you some value, if it made you think differently about money, please hit that subscribe button. We're just getting started on this journey to financial